喂，好，大家好。对，今天我们要来玩的就是这款，The Stanley Parable。它目前没有中文的翻译，所以我也不随便乱翻了。反正它是一款很智障的游戏就是了。因为它是全英文的，所以说我在玩完了之后，我影片可能我可能就是会加上中文字幕之后再上传，那就反正不管怎样就开始游戏喽。End is never the end. The end is loading. 漏得好慢哦，快点，Go！ 开始喽。
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Okay.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk.
好无聊的工作。
Push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
这样真的会开心吗？
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
我可以动可以向前后左右移动，不能跳。不能跳他把跳给锁住了，除非跳不是空白键。好酷哦！我还拿什么东西吗？没有东西可以拿没有什么东西可以动所以代表我只能走出我的房间而已吗？好吧，那走出房间 ，Go。Hello， 有人吗 ？Hello。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
他叫我去 meeting room， 叫我去那个会议室，但怎么半个人都没有，好恐怖走喽，走路速度有点快，不太习惯。但是会议室在哪？那边可以走吗？不行好多人哦，但都不见了400多个员工都不见了。他这个公司到底在干嘛的？奇怪，好恐怖的公司哦。可以关门。有其他门可以开吗？不行只有他开好的那个门可以开。那里面这个可不可以？都不行所以就只能往那边走了。那这个呢？不行。那不能开。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any
way. 旁白你在看我，立队。算了，走喽。真的半个人都没有走喽。不能开，没半个人那 meeting room 到底在哪里
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
他叫我走左边的门我不要走左边的门。走右边的门好了。
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
这边可以开吗？都不能开。哎，这是什么？
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
有吗？我没有东西可以喝啊，给我东西可以喝。他说我在喝东西啊。
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
我就是喜欢在这个房间里面啊！你是想怎样啦？我是不能在这个房间里面哦。
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
为什么
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
哎，我哪有？哎，你在乱讲什么？哦，我再多待久一点，他会不会讲其他的话？
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
我靠，为什么他知道我在等他说话？刚好酷哦！好了，啊，走就走啊，走就走啊。
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
哦，他叫我走左边的门呢，那我不走嘞。他说我叫我走左边的门呢，那我可以往前面走咯。我往前面走会怎么样？走。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
他骂我哎，可恶！哎，这地方好酷哦，这什么地方？哦？哎，不要 ，Do not jump from the cargo lift. Lift while it is not motion. While it is in motion. 哦，它在动，这个东西在动的时候，不要往旁边，不要离开这个 cargo， 不要跳。还会怎样？penalty for misuse of the cargo lift. 哦，随便乱用会罚我1000块。那我假如往上站会怎样？
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
哪有？不够啊！
Investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Oh?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
什么 her？ 谁？我就是要自己决定啊！谁都不能帮我做决定。
Stanley, your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Her?
She's been waiting.
嗯，是我老婆吗？哎，原来 Stanley 有老婆。这边可以去吗？嗯？哎，怎么只有一个黑黑的门啊？我不想进去那个黑黑的门，好恐怖哦！有没有地方可以去？没有哎，我只能进去那个黑黑的门了。可恶！哎，超黑的，好恐怖啦！有没有其他地方可以走啦？哎，拜托给我一只手电筒也好啊！奇怪哎。哦。
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her.
吓
If
死
you
我！
can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
什么东西啊？我不要啊！
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that?
好爽
You
哦！
actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
我选对了吗？我选对了吗？
No, it It's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
What? 你要我讲什么？
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
什么 exercise?
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
他说要展示给我正确的选择，正确的选择是怎样？所以我要回去原来那个地方吗？
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
所以说刚刚其实可以跳下去，好酷哦！其他地方可以走吗？没有好酷！到底是谁在帮我开门啊？好恐怖哦！该不会又要我回到那个2选1的门了吧？所以真的要我一路走回去？
You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
他真的要叫我继续回去走左边的路这里。
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
哎，他又可以给我让我选哎，不管我不想照他的画做，我要走右边。怎样？
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
爽啦！怎样？我就是要走右边。哎，这边不能走哎。哎呀，变得好恶心哦！什么东西都变好恶心哦！这是后果吗？不要啦！哎，我不能走嘞，没有其他东西可以，没有其他地方可以走嘞。一定要叫我回去走右边的门，对，走左边的门哦。哪有这样的啦？诶，好了，左边就左边啊。那我再走一次好了，看一下会不会有什么变化。没有诶，一定要走右边呢，对不对？一定要走左边呢。切，好啦，左边就左边嘛。你赢了好不好？你赢了好不好？可恶。嗯，也没有什么变化啊。没有其他地方可以开，这边是什么东西？哦，这边就是哦。
It's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do?
哎，旁白先生，对不起啦。
No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
不要。
I have to.
旁白先生，不要关游戏啦。我靠，这怎么回事？
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
是我害的吗？
It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
但是我不想做呀。
That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
为什么又回来了？怎么又回来了？好，那时间也差不多了，那我们下次就从这边开始。奇怪了，奇怪了，那下一次我们照他的话走好了。他好可怜哦，那个旁白先生好可怜哦。那下次我们就照他的话来走喽。那你喜欢我的影片的话，那就请不吝啬按一下喜欢。那应该在简介里面也会有我的粉丝团，欢迎进来看看。那有任何的问题或有任何的建议的话，也欢迎在下面留言。那我们下一集再见喽，拜拜。